Greetings, hockey fans. Kyle Robinson here with your TV. And again, one of the big, probably if not the hardest positions to play in hockey, especially at this junior A level, is goaltending. I was a goalie myself many years ago, never made it this far, probably a reason why, but we'll save that conversation for another day. But there is one goaltender in here who's arguably the best one in the CCHL, and that is Mr. Kevin Jones. Jones, thanks very much for joining us today.
Yeah, no problem.
So again, we were talking about, the mindset of the goaltender, getting ready for games, even during practices and stuff like that. What do you kind of think about, in the locker room, getting ready to go up for warm-up for practice?
I just kind of try and visualize shots and stuff, and just really focus hands and get ready and just have a good time, have a smile on my face. It helps out a lot. So sign me.
There's been multiple players in the past who've said that goaltenders kind of have that weird aura around them in the locker room.
Yeah.
Does that kind of feel true for you? You seem kind of like a down-to-earth guy.
Yeah, I guess a little bit. I usually have a lot of energy, especially if I have an energy drink in me. I get a little too riled up and they gotta calm me down sometimes, but you make me feel like I'm living a teenage dream.
Do you ever get the butterflies still in your stomach a little bit?
Almost every game. I get, they get to me a little bit, but I don't like to let it affect me.
Okay. Do you watch a lot of video when you're studying your opponents or whatever for an upcoming game?
Yeah, I'll often do a film with my goalie coach, usually the day before or a few days before a game, and just go over some stuff and correct.
Another shot. Two saves there by Jones.
You have a set mind and who's on the other team, know where they're going to shoot, where they're going to deke sometimes?
Yeah, usually I've got a pretty good idea of each team and their best players. It was helpful being in that Canada Cup, being on their team and knowing some of their moves while I was on their team. So
Kevin, when you get into the net, can you give us maybe a bit of a preview of what you kind of work on practice before a game? Just kind of get yourself familiar with the net?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. I know with goaltenders too, angles are a big thing, when it comes to the face-off dots or, hash marks and, kind of cutting down the angle. How would you go about doing that for any of the young goaltenders that are watching?
For angles, usually pick from the dot to the middle of the net. Usually that, stay in between it. So if the guy's at this dot, keep your legs in it to the middle of the net. Same with that dot up there. Mm-hmm. All the way in between. I find that helps quite a bit.
When you're watching tape and you're kind of correcting yourself, is that one thing you look at? Is your angles or being square to the puck?
Yeah, definitely. There's times where my goalie coach is you don't need to be that far over, and being just a little too far over may be all the difference in not being able to get to a shot cross ice. So just a little push over and being a little more square. Maybe all the difference to getting across to that backdoor shot.
I've noticed there's a lot of goalies too that are different when the puck's in the corner, or even kind of along the red line here, how they hug the post. How would you particularly? Can you show us how to do that?
Yeah, most goalies like to be down in RVH, but I don't really like how it's so open up top. I like to stand up and wait, and as they're coming in, kind of predict. And if they get really in close, I'll go down in. But if they're still far out, be on my feet in case there's a pass and I can really get across easily.
Do you find the quote-unquote butterfly goalie style or the stand-up goaltender is kind of a lost art?
I do know some guys who still have the stand-up style, but yeah, it's mostly butterfly nowadays.
Yeah. You find that your feet and your legs are your best weapon?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like sometimes you can make saves with your legs just by moving into a shot instead of reaching out, because when you're reaching out it's all open, and if it's tipped it's going right in, but if you're able to move into it, you secure that whole area.
Okay. Show us if you maybe leg stretches as well to get loose.
I like just warming up each one, a little quick that way, quick this way, a little split, And then I like to come out, really stretch in there, and then out here. That's pretty much my whole
My
routine.
groin's kind of hurt just watching it.
Yeah.
When the play's down on the other end, you know, there's a lot of, you know, things you're thinking about as a goaltender. You know, who's on the ice, where the play might come from, who's on the defense for your team. What are you kind of thinking about, and how do you kind of stay ready for, you know, the play that might be coming?
Sometimes I'm not. I'm singing music in my head or something, but it's just really just tracking the puck the whole time, making sure like I'm not getting too distracted. And it actually helps figuring out who's on the ice because I stay more into it mentally.
With the big crowds here at the PMC, you see every Sunday night, up to 1,000 people. Again, the highest attendance in all the CCHL. Does that kind of play with your psyche a little bit?
A little bit, but I definitely love all the fans, and I love the cheering. It's so nice. Some rinks, it's just dead, and I think that kind of affects me. I like having the big crowd and the loud crowd.
Does it add to the pressure a little bit too?
Definitely does add a little bit, but I love it, so.
The shootout is obviously one of the toughest things in any sport, whether it be hockey, soccer, you name it. I know when the referee tells you can't really leave the crease until the player touches the puck.
Yep.
In your mindset, though, before that player even touches the puck, what are you thinking about?
Oh, I don't know. I'm kind of looking at who he is, see if I know a bit about him. Looking at it, what hand he is. Kind of looking at his face, see if he's a little nervous or not.
Is it harder to stop a shot or a deep?
I think it depends. Depends on the person for sure. Sometimes the shot's harder, but I feel like a pretty good deke will get me going a little bit.
Okay. Do you find that there's a lot of players in the league that shoot rather than deke?
Yeah, definitely. When I first got here in my first shootout against Kempville, I was surprised how they all shot, not many dekes. So.
And the crowd applauds enthusiastically. Grady Logue, wearing number 11 for Kempville. Left-hand shot in tight. And a stop made. And where is it? It's caught in his pads.
Wow.
And Jones made the save.